Folks, hello and welcome to Math 112. This is Math for Aviation Part 2. We're getting started here today on the, Monday the 28th of May, and we'll run for 9 weeks through the 28th of July. In addition to the written introduction that I gave you, I wanted to drop a note here on the board for you and reinforce a number of things that if you've been with us here at Embry-Riddle for a while, you understand how we approach our coursework, but I just wanted to remind you of a couple of key things, especially as they relate to our math courses. And so let's go through this slide, and we'll be ready to go here as we get into it today, Monday, May 28th. The first thing, Math 112 or Math 112. What is Math 112? Well, it's a basic introduction to differential and integral calculus with aviation applications. As you know from your math courses, the thing that's most important about mathematics for undergraduate students is making sure that we can show to the best of our ability the applications of the coursework. So again, just a quick introduction, 9-week introduction to differential and integral calculus, and we'll do our best to show you where the applications are in the aviation world. Let's go to my next bullet here in the keys to your success and our success as a class. There is absolutely no substitute for reading the assigned material. I know that some of you may not be fans of math, and I understand that, but you have got to do the best you can to go through the assigned readings each week and where necessary, make notes and make sure that you're asking questions. But again, there is absolutely no substitute for carefully reading all the assigned material. Secondly, the concepts in math for calculus are probably unknown to most of you, are just not familiar with them. And to some degree, it's almost like learning a new language. So you've got to be very careful as you go through the reading to pay close attention to the concepts and pay close attention to the notation. And we will certainly focus on those as we go through your discussion post and in your homework. Next, as I mentioned, please never hesitate to ask questions. I always say if one student has a question, there's 5 others that have the same question. So when I say keys to your success as an individual and also as the class, that's why I say from a class perspective, when you have questions, please ask them, because it's valuable not only to you, it's valuable to the rest of your classmates, and it's also valuable to me to know where the questions are, and we're taking time to address those with the rest of the group. Each week, I will post on the discussion board here. When you log into the course and you go, when you get into the course, you'll see announcements on the top, sort of in the top center of the page. I will have a note there for you each week, and I would highly encourage you to read through those as you get started each week. As you know, we have in all of our courses, we have weekly discussion posts, and they're very important here as we'll go through and look at applications of the material that we're covering each week. If you've taken a math course with us in the past, you know that we assign those at least probably in Math 111. I've never taught Math 111, but I'm assuming the same thing is done there. We call it a calculus identification number, or a CIN. And you'll see how those are applied as you go through the discussions. I will post those on the discussion board, and I will also email them to you. Obviously, you know that your discussion posts, in order to get access to each discussion board, whatever else has been posted on the board, you need to make your first post or put your post on the board first, and then you'll see what else is there. So obviously, it's a little silly for me to post them in the week 1 discussion board, but I will put those in a note on the discussion board. On the announcement page, and I will also email those to you. My point here about your first attempt, it's very, very important that when you make your first attempt at a discussion post, you do the very best that you can and make it as thorough as possible. As you'll see in the rubrics, the rubrics for each one of your discussion posts, it's one of the components of that is an honest and best attempt to solve or show that you are able to understand a certain discussion post on your first attempt. So make sure that you're very thorough on that first attempt. As I mentioned, each week I'll have an introductory message for you. If you look in each one of the introductory messages, I'm also going to have an intro video for you. So I'm going to introduce the discussion post for you each week, and I'm going to essentially what I'm going to do in those those videos is show you how I would lay out the discussion post. I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to show you how I would go through it methodically, and that, and again, with also with the correct notation. So I hope those are of value to you. I would encourage you to take a look at them before you start your post. Once you start, or once you make your first post, I will read through those and provide feedback, typically within 24 hours. If I have asked you for an update, I would ask you to consider my thoughts or consider my comments to you, and then go back and update your post and send it back to me and let me have a final look. It's important, number one, for your understanding, and secondly, I think it's important that everybody receive full credit on these discussion posts each week if they're done correctly. And I don't mind a couple of back and forths between myself and any of you if that's necessary. So please make sure you, once you make your post, within a day or so, go back and see if I've given you any feedback, and please make an update to your post. Finally, with the exams, I believe we'll have 4 exams throughout the course, and they will be taken through my math lab. In terms of preparation, I think you'll find that if you've done the reading and you've done the homework in my math lab, that you'll be very well prepared to take your exams. As you know, what we want to see along with the work that you submit through my math lab, which is typically going to be just a numerical answer. Sometimes there's a multiple choice in there, but I think predominantly you're required to give a written numerical response. Along with that, we're going to ask you to submit your written work to us, and that will be posted through a discussion or a Dropbox in the course. The couple key things here: make sure that make sure that you post those within 30 minutes of taking your exam, and make sure that the work is legible and very well organized, because I will give you partial credit where it is appropriate. So, but again, the key is making sure that I get that work within 30 minutes. If there's something wrong with the internet, or if there's something wrong with our site, please send me an email and let me know, and I will, if it happens once or twice, throughout the course to 1 or 2 of you, that's okay. We will make exceptions for that, but I certainly don't want that to be a recurring theme for anybody. So make sure that you keep your work as you're going through the test questions. Make sure your work is legible, make sure it's well organized, and make sure I have it within 30 minutes of submitting your exam. And where you miss problems based on your answers provided through my math lab, I will certainly award partial credit where it's warranted. And then finally, once you have submitted your exam, typically within 2 to 3 days, I'll have all the exams done. I like to have them done as soon as I see them pop up, but when I get a bunch of them, it'll take some time to go through those. But I will give you the best feedback that I can through the Dropbox. So once you submit your exam, please go back and take a look at my comments on your exam. I'll try to, if you have something that's incorrect, I'll do my very best to go through your written work and try to find the spot where you first took a wrong turn and point that out to you, and hopefully that'll clear up the issue. Finally, let me say this. As I mentioned in the beginning, I know there's probably some of you out there that aren't big fans of mathematics, and I certainly understand that. I always my goal for every student in every course is let's figure out a way to make this fun. And I think as folks or professionals in the aviation field, I know you're all very intelligent, and you're all very aware that mathematics is an important component of the aviation world based on science and engineering. So let me just say, if this isn't your favorite subject, let me tell you that hard work will pay off, and the hard work obviously will lead to learning, and then you will have fun. And I say that in terms of if you're not a math fan here, or having fun here means that you're going to be successful. So let's have fun. Let's enjoy the next 9 weeks. Let's enjoy each other for the next 9 weeks. I typically think we get a lot of good interaction on the discussion boards, which is very helpful to everybody. And I think, again, your hard work will lead to learning, and it'll lead to your success. And so I hope this was helpful. Again, if there's any questions as we get going here, please let me know. And I wish everyone the best. Thank you.